talked to Eric Anderson up at the league conference. He said he was trying to get me to come up there because that's in Mankato.
Oh, I like that. It's a little closer.
Yeah.
I would like to call this meeting to order. It is Monday, June 25th, 2018. It's 5:30 p.m. and we are in the City Hall Council chambers. And roll call, Patty.
Cyphers.
Present.
Hawkins.
Present?
Hasek.
Here.
Peters.
Here.
Zarley.
It's been determined that we have a quorum, and we will now do the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. First item on the agenda is to approve tonight's agenda, and at your seat there was an addition of 15.5 advertised for bills for the Canyon Drive Storm Sewer Improvement. And so with that, is there please a motion to approve the agenda as presented with the addition of 15.5?
So moved.
Motion offered by Peters and second by Hawkins. Is there any further discussion? All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Next item is 6.1, minutes of our last meeting, which was on June 11th, which were included in your packet. Is there please a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
So moved.
Motion offered by Cyphers.
Second.
And second by Peters. Is there any further discussion? All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Next item is police introductions, and Chief, would you like to begin?
Thank you, Mayor Foster, City Council. Again, thank you for the opportunity to talk a little bit about some changes in our department. With the retirement of Sergeant Kelly here, it led to a couple different personnel moves. To begin with, we have our newest officer, Officer Josh Walker, comes to the Fairmont Police Department from the Montevideo Police Department. And this evening, we'd like to have him sworn in front of the council and have him say a few words about himself. So, Josh?
I, Josh Walker,
I, Joshua Walker,
do solemnly swear that I will
do solemnly swear that I will
support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Minnesota,
support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Minnesota,
and faithfully perform and discharge
and faithfully perform and discharge
the duties of the office of police officer
the duties and office of patrol officer
of the city of Fairmont in the county of Martin and the state of Minnesota
of the city of Fairmont in the county of Martin in the state of Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I'll try to make this short and sweet. My name's Josh Walker. I was born in Mankato, Minnesota, raised in rural Vernon Center. Graduated from Lake Crystal Welcome Memorial. Went on after high school. I joined the Army. Did 6 years with the Army National Guard out of Mankato, Minnesota. While overseas in Kosovo, I decided to start my career in law enforcement. Went on to obtain a bachelor's degree in investigations and law enforcement. For the last 4 years, I've been working in the city of Montevideo. I'm really excited to work here in the town of Fairmont. Excited for the opportunity, and I look forward to serving the community.
Welcome. It's
Welcome.
nice
Thank
to
you.
have you
Welcome.
here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And with that, we had the open sergeant's position that we tested for. And as a result of that process, we promoted Officer Mike Belletti to Sergeant Mike Belletti. And he has taken that position over on June 21st. So I'd like to introduce him and announce that promotion. So Sergeant Belletti.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor Foster and City Council members. Like Chief Hunter said, I am Sergeant Mike Belletti with Fairmont Police Department. I've been working with the City of Fairmont for approximately 8 years. During my time here in Fairmont, I've been able to serve in various roles here with the department, such as traffic safety, towards zero death coordinator, school resource officer, field training officer, and now patrol sergeant. So I'm just looking forward to the new challenges that'll come with the position and look forward to working with the department and community. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank
Congratulations.
you.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
And finally, our newest addition to the department as well over the last month here. Actually, it started way back when we were looking at the budgeting and we were able to get the approval of council to put back into our police department the K-9 program. And so we're very excited to have that resource here. And Sergeant TG was selected as the K-9 officer, and he's brought his partner here tonight to be introduced to the council. So I'll let Sergeant TG and his new partner come forward.
Well, I'll make it quick because we'll see how he deals with all this. He's used to training, not being at council meetings. I told the chief that we probably should have done it on a separate night from the new guys because he has a habit of stealing the show. But anyways, no, I like Sergeant Belletti. I'm used to calling him officer. Like Sergeant Belletti said, it's been really cool our time with the Fairmont Police Department, having to wear the opportunity to wear different hats, all the different stuff that I've been involved with over the years. And this is a new opportunity, and I thank you guys for giving us this opportunity. It's we've been a couple of years without it, but it's a really cool to be part of the tradition that Fairmont has had for a long time. You know, Sergeant Sano's here, and he did really well in this position, and it's cool to have him as an opportunity to be able to go to for questions, because I'm new at this, so it's something I'm having a lot of fun with. But I thank you guys for giving our department and the city community this opportunity again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sergeant.
It's beautiful.
And again, just in closing, I think they said it as well. Thank you very much for the support. We appreciate it, and we're very happy to be able to have the opportunity to work here in Fairmont. Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Next item is 8.1, and presentation by Tim Penny. And Mike, we'll let you start.
Tim Penny, President and CEO of Southern Minnesota Initiative Foundation.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. I always appreciate the opportunity to give an annual update on the work of the Southern Minnesota Initiative Foundation. Mayor and members of the council, here is the update for 2018. First of all, as I've mentioned to you in my previous visits, we're an economic and community development foundation that serves a 20-county region in south central, southeastern Minnesota, and we focus on 3 areas of work where our programming and funding is dedicated. One is to help smaller towns create community funds, and that also includes helping to manage family funds, designated funds, things of that sort. And in the recent past, we partnered up with the Schmeckley family and are helping administer that fund and the proceeds from that fund to the benefit of this community. We also do early childhood support. The needs there are enormous. Getting these kids ready for kindergarten really indicates whether they will be successful thereafter. Our investments there over the course of time have been pretty intensive here in your community. You were one of the first towns where we did an early childhood initiative, where we did strategic planning, identified early childhood needs, and worked toward addressing those needs. We're now up to, I think, 24 communities that have gone through that planning process. And again, Fairmont continues to carry on that work, and we provide additional help whenever we can. We have an AmeriCorps program with young people that we hire each year and place them as teacher aides in early childhood sites. 2 of those are in your county, one with Martin County West, the other in Trimont. We also have book distribution programs. We just, in fact, last week distributed 20,000 books to 41 different organizations for early reading programs. Capstone and Abdul Publishing, both of those companies out of Mankato, provide these books annually. And in the last year and a half or so, we've donated about 27,000 books, or $27,000 worth of books, just here in the immediate area to the Fairmont schools, to St. Paul Evangelical Lutheran Church, to Faribault and Martin County Human Services, to the Martin County Library, and to the 2 local Kiwanis clubs who do reading mentoring programs with the books that we donate. We've done some grants for early childhood needs that have come to your community in the last couple of years, one to the Fairmont Early Childhood Initiative, and the other to Youth First. So again, that's just a listing of some of the early childhood work that we brought to the community and the county in the last year or so. Last but not least, we do some economic development work. That includes some grant making, but the bulk of the resources we distribute are through the lending that we offer. We have a couple different lending pools. We often work in partnership with banks and EDAs on these. We've worked with Lindsay in years past, and actually currently, because people like her view us as a tool in her toolbox. So that's been a great partnership over time. Most recently, our lending in the area has been to the Fairmont Butcher Block, Tremont Greenhouse in Floral, and the China House, which is becoming a pretty popular place to take people to dinner up in Truman. So all of those aren't necessarily right here in Fairmont, but they're part of your service area, and so that's the kind of lending activity we're engaged in. And all of our work we try to do in collaboration and partnership with other organizations that are focused on these same areas of interest. We expend about $5 million in total every year across the 20-county region. We bring in about $10 of resources for every dollar we raise locally, but I do want to take this opportunity to thank the City Council for the ongoing support that you have provided to us over the years, and we hope you feel that your contribution is well leveraged by the resources we bring back to your community. And the best resource you've given us is that you've given us the chairman of our board, Fred Kramer, and I'm going to ask him to just say a couple of words in the event that there's anything I've left out.
For those of you that know Tim Penny, you know there's very little he ever leaves out. He's been a great leader of Southern Minnesota Initiative Foundation for much longer than I've been on the board. This is my 5th year. I have 1 year left as chair. I'm very proud to have an organization like SMIF that for every dollar we give from the county and the city, $7 return, and we'll continue to make that kind of leverage back. And in the tradition of collaboration, I wanted to mention, I mentioned it to Tim when I saw him, the Community Center Task Force, as well as the Adventure Playground Task Force. SMIF also serves as funding agent for those to help make those happen. And I think we've been a great tool for collaborating with city efforts. So thank you, and look forward for your continued support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So with that, in the packet I provided you is our annual report from last year. There will be a new annual report printed soon. There's also some fact sheets on the various programs that I've just briefly described, and a specific fact sheet to the kind of work we've done in Martin County over the last several years. So with that, if there are any questions, great. Otherwise, thank you again for the support that you and other communities across the region provide to us so that we can continue our work.
You're welcome. Thanks for taking the time to be with us, both of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
8.2, proclaim August 24th, 2018 as American Legion Day, and I have a proclamation that I'd like to read. Whereas Minnesota veterans have been sacrificing their time, their skills, their service, and their lives defending liberty and country since the Civil War. And whereas the American Legion, Department of Minnesota, the state's largest veterans organization, is nearing a century of service to our veterans, our youth, and our communities. And whereas over those 100 years, the Legion has developed such programs as Boy State, Girl State, Legion Baseball, Legionville Safety Patrol Camp, and 3 ongoing research chairs at the University of Minnesota. And whereas the first National Convention of the American Legion was held in Minneapolis in November of 1919. And whereas the 100th National Convention of the American Legion will be held in Minneapolis in August 2018. And whereas the American Legion, Department of Minnesota, and its members have put millions of volunteers, plus their talent and treasures into projects that have made this state, county, and city a better place to live. Now therefore I, Deborah J. Foster, Mayor of the City of Fairmont, do hereby proclaim Friday, August 24th, 2018 as American Legion Day, and congratulate the American Legion and the American Legion Department of Minnesota and the Lee C. Prentice American Legion Post number 36 on its proud record of service its commitment to another 100 years of helping veterans, guiding our youth, and lifting up our communities. So congratulations to the American Legion. That's quite an accomplishment, 100 years, and congratulations and thank you. Next item is 8.3, and I get to do this one also. And at our last meeting, we recognized employees that were celebrating 10 years of service, 20 years of service, and 30 years of service. And during that meeting, one person was omitted by error, and that person is celebrating 40 years of service to the city of Fairmont. And as I was talking to Marty before, I said, I don't think that that was a mistake. I think that that was probably meant to have a special recognition for someone that has given 40 years of service to the city of Fairmont. And the person that we'd like to recognize is Marty Mikesell. And Marty is the electric distribution supervisor for the city of Fairmont. And my comment that I'd like to make about the role that Marty plays is that as a community, when the sirens are going off and all of us are taking cover in our homes so that we can be safe and be out of harm's way, or whether it's a winter storm and the wind is blowing like crazy and it's 50 below zero and people in the city of Fairmont don't know how they're going to keep their electricity on because their heat's not working, it's Marty and the group of men that work for him are the ones that go out in that stuff so that they can provide and continue to provide a service to the city and our community. And so Marty, it is just with a great thank you for your commitment to our city. Thanks for being part of our community, a very active member of our community, and it's really nice to have you here. And so would you please come up and shake our hands for everyone so that we can thank you for what you've done. Do you have anything you'd like to say, first of all?
I would.
Oh my gosh, well, we're going to sit down then. It's all yours.
Everybody bring a pillow. No, I'd just like to say thanks for the opportunity to serve. It's been, 40 years. There's probably some of you in the room here that were not born when I started working here. Lindsay.
Yeah.
But I really have to thank my wife who came along and has supported me through this whole ordeal. I figure I'd taken about 1,000 outage calls in my career, and if it wasn't for her, it'd be about 3, because I don't hear the phone when it rings at night, but she does, and it's a good thing she's got the eagle ears that she's got. So, but anyway, it's been a pleasure and privilege to work for the city, and it's great citizens, and thank you.
Thank you, Marty.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you, Wayne. Congratulations. Thank you. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you, Marty. Don't go anywhere too fast. Need you around a few more years.
Well, don't worry. If you make me an offer.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
No, you're so sweet, I can hardly stand it.
Thank you, Marty. 9.1, a public hearing for ordinance number 2018-14, mini storage and self-serving storage facilities. And at this time, I'd like to open the public hearing, and we will begin with Mike.
The Planning Commission recommended to update the zoning code to make mini storages and facilities legal conforming uses in our B3 and I1 zones. This was done primarily because our code was silent on the specific operation of mini storages and self-service. For years, they were just permitted under warehousing. It's more appropriate to permit those as they are and in the zones B3 and I1. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
Okay, and at this time, is there anyone in attendance that would like to address the council at this public hearing? Hearing none, is there please a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Motion offered by Peters and second by Hasek. Is there any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. The next motion then would be to approve ordinance number 2018-14 as presented.
So moved.
Motion offered by Hawkins
Second?
and second by Cyphers. Is there any further discussion? It's a roll call vote, please, Patty.
Peters,
Yes.
Cyphers,
Yes.
Hasek,
Yes.
Hawkins.
Yes.
And the motion passed. 9.2, a public hearing to amend the rural and urban service districts for the city of Fairmont. And at this time, I'd like to open the public hearing, and we will begin with Mike.
Fairmont has two taxing districts, rural service districts and urban service districts. Each year, we have to go through a list of those, and there's properties that change hands or become urban rather than rural. And in this case, two properties, both out on Highway 39, changed from agriculture to business, with Semstone locating its new plant out there. Other than that, there are no other changes, and staff recommends approval of the list as provided in the ordinance.
Thank you. Is there anyone in attendance that would like to address the council at this public hearing? Hearing none, is there please a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Motion offered by
Second.
Peters and second by Hawkins. Is there any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. The next motion would be pleased to approve ordinance number 2018-15, an ordinance amending ordinance number 2017-05 of the city of Fairmont relating to the rural and urban service districts for the city of Fairmont. Is there a motion please to approve?
So moved.
Motion offered by Peters
Second.
and second by Hawkins. Is there any further discussion? This is a roll call vote. Patty?
Cyphers,
Yes.
Hasek,
Yes.
Hawkins.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Motion passed. 13.1, fire display permit, J&M Displays, and Mike.
J&M Displays will shoot the fireworks off on July 4th, as they have for several years in the past. All the information in their permit is provided to you, along with a copy of their insurance. Staff recommends approving.
Is there a motion? Oh, excuse me, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
excuse me, recommends approving J&M as our fireworks.
Okay, is there a motion, please, to approve the permit application for the July 4th fireworks by J&M Displays of Urbandale, Iowa?
So moved.
Motion offered by Hasek
Second?
and second by Cyphers. Is there any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. 13.2, event permit for Freedom 5K and 10K race, Mike.
Freedom 5K and 10K race will be held September 8th, 2018, starting at 9 a.m. Registration begins at 7:30. The race will begin at Sylvania Park. Again, this is a race that's taken place in past years, and staff recommends approval.
Is there a motion, please, to approve the permit for the Freedom 5K and 10K race event for September 8th, 2018?
So moved.
Second.
Motion offered by Hasek and second by Peters. Is there any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. 13.3, event permit for theater performance at Sylvania Park, Mike.
The Sod House Theater of St. Anthony Village would like to hold a performance called An Enemy of the People at Sylvania Park, Friday, August 3rd at 7 p.m., and again Saturday, August 4th at 2 p.m. This event will include local citizen participation in the play. Tickets are $15 for adults, $10 for seniors. The performance is based on the Norwegian playwright Henrik Ibsen. Ebsen. An Enemy of the People is a bluegrass musical. Staff recommends approval for the special permit.
Is there, please, a motion to approve the event permit for the Sod House Theater to hold performances at Sylvania Park on August 3rd and August 4th, 2018?
So moved.
Motion offered by Cyphers
Second.
and second by Hawkins. Is there any further discussion?
This is family friendly.
Yes.
Yes? Okay, thank you, Patty.
She was quick with that answer. You
Yeah.
knew it.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. 15.1, 2018 election judges, Mike.
The governing body of a municipality shall appoint election judges at least 25 days before the election. Patty needs to do that in order to get ready for the primary, and then in November, the general election. So the list of 25 election judges is in front of you. And in the sake of time, I don't believe we need to read each name. So
Okay. Is there a motion, please, to approve Resolution 2018-16 as presented?
So moved.
Motion offered by Hawkins
Second?
and second by Cyphers. Is there any further discussion?
I'd like to thank you all for volunteering your time.
Thank
Very
you,
nice.
Bruce. Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call vote, please, Patty.
Cyphers,
Yes.
Hasek,
Yes.
Hawkins.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Motion passed. 15.2, paddle port rack. And Mike.
the Lakes Foundation has purchased several kayaks and paddle boards and will own and rent the equipment through Somer Outdoors. City's been cooperating with them. They needed a place to rent them from and store them. They'll be doing that at Gomsrud Park near the bathhouse on the east side. What they're asking us to do is to allow them to put the paddle station or the paddle port station in the park. They want to provide that as a gift to the city. We'll store the canoes and the paddle boards in the wintertime for them, but we've built the pad and the rack is bolted to the thing, so it stands to reason that the city should own the rack and take maintenance responsibility for that. But all the kayaks will be owned and rented and taken care of by the Lakes Foundation. The Lakes Foundation will provide the liability insurance to use those pieces of equipment.
Is there a motion, please, to accept the paddle port rack in Gomsrud Park as a gift from the Fairmont Lakes Foundation?
So moved.
Motion offered by Hawkins,
Second.
second by Peters. Is there any further discussion?
Insurance, odd that I bring that up. Do they meet the same liability limits? Are they gonna be required to carry the same liability limits that the city does? And if not, I would think they should.
I'm-
How does that?
I can't, I don't, I have the insurance certificate in front of us. I think they're meeting the liability limits that we require of other vendors and contractors that are working in the city for us. And I will get back to the council with what those exact limits are. I just
And the reason I
don't
say
have
that,
that
because if we are
insurance
owning,
thing.
it's different than a vendor, because a vendor, we're just saying, go ahead, you can park here, but if we own part of this, I think it would likely behoove us to require the same limits that we.
We own the rack, so if
We own the canoes.
if someone climbs on the rack and falls off, just like a piece of playground equipment in our park, the League of Minnesota Cities Insurance Trust will defend us if we were
Gotcha, yeah.
to get sued. Elizabeth and I did run this option by the League of Minnesota Cities Insurance Trust, and this is kind of the direction we
They're
received
good,
from them.
okay, thank you.
And we're listed as an additional insured then?
Correct.
Yes.
And we did have the two insurance agents that are representing the Fairmont Lakes Foundation and the one that is representing Justin. And we had a meeting with them so that everybody was going to be on the same page as far as what expectations were. And it really was a good meeting to have.
Okay,
Good questions.
thank you.
Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. 15.3, water main upsize cost share request. And Lindsay, thanks for being here with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I've been working on the project for the new industrial park, and in that we have to go through, we have to obtain easements for 4 different property owners. And Semstone is one of those. And they're actually looking at doing a project this year, and they've requested, they were looking at our site plan, they were gonna put in a 6-inch water main on their property. And we noticed that, and we were thinking that instead of them putting a 6-inch water main parallel to what we're gonna do, a proposed 12-inch water main, we were thinking that we could maybe work together. So we've approached Semstone, and what we came up with is if they could put the 12-inch water line in, the easement area, we would pay for the cost of the upsizing. So it would be like they would pay for what they would have put in, which would have been the 6-inch water line, and we will pay for what it would have cost above that, up to the 12-inch water line, which is $13,500 for that property. I would have brought all of this together with the easements, but I don't want to hold the Semstone project up because they're ready for construction. And so I'm asking for $13,500 for water and sewer costs so that we can pay for that upsizing.
Thank
Do you have any questions?
Have the easements all been approved?
No, they have not.
You said 4?
4. I'm hoping that we will be able to bring that to you at the next meeting. We're very close.
Lindsay, can you explain, that Semstone is the first property in line, so this will get them their water, and if for some reason we wouldn't go forward, the other easements won't hold up the Semstone project.
Yeah.
So they're the first ones in line going north.
And it's a complete no-brainer, in my humble opinion.
Exactly.
I mean,
Absolutely.
we'd be digging in a 12-inch costing many, 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 exponentially more dollars.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
It's nice to work with them, Lindsay. Way to go.
Thanks.
Is there a motion to approve $13,500 for the upsizing cost of water main across Semstone property along CSAH 39?
So moved.
Second.
Motion offered by Peters and second by Hasek. Is there any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, Lindsay.
Thank you. Semstone will be very happy to hear that.
Thank you very much. 15.4, advertise for bids for 2018-C sanitary sewer lining project, and Troy.
Evening, Mayor and Council. We have the plans and specifications ready for the sanitary sewer lining project, looking at doing just under 6,000 feet of sanitary sewer main. This is a process where we go through and line the sanitary main to improve the integrity of the main and hopefully stop some leaks, so we can begin to reduce some of the I&I that we saw in these last storm events. Looking to have this project bid opening July 19th at 10 a.m. here at City Hall, asking for council to approve the advertising for this project.
Any questions for Troy at this time? If not, is there a motion, please, to adopt Resolution 2018-17, approving advertising for the 2018-C construction project?
So moved.
Second.
Motion offered by Hawkins and second by Peters. Is there any further discussion? Troy, are you hoping to get some competitive bids for this project?
I'm trying, we did it 2 years ago. We've been doing the CIPP lining projects off years of the bonding project, so we did it 2 years ago, and I believe, I can't recall for sure, we had 3 or 4 bidders.
Oh, good,
At
good.
that time. There's a couple that, in the area that do it, and depending how it fits in their schedule, they'll run across the southern part of the state. And
Thank you very much. Any other questions for Troy at this time?
What's it lined with? Is that like a plastic or?
It's a cured, it ends up being plastic, yes, but it comes as a sock, and then there's an additive. When it hits water, it's steamed, and it actually cures in place to a hard plastic. Yep.
And what's it cost? This is about a mile ballpark, I mean.
We're estimating about 150,000
For the total?
total, yes.
Okay, any other questions for Troy? Hearing none, this is a roll call vote, please, Patty.
Hasek,
Yes.
Hawkins.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Cyphers.
Yes.
Motion has passed. 15.5, advertise for bids to the 2018-A Canyon Drive Storm Sewer Improvements, and Troy.
With the 2018 budget, there were funds authorized to do one portion of the storm sewer improvements to the Canyon Drive area. This would be the first piece of that, where we would be looking at upgrading, upsizing the storm sewer from Kings Road west to Canyon Drive. This would also include a pond at the area of the 3 lots where the city purchased homes over the past several years, to reduce the impact to those homes during the flooding. Plans are ready to go. Again, we're gonna advertise with the bid opening on July 17th with this one, here at City Hall. I'll be happy to answer any questions. There'll be some more information coming out and we'll have a neighborhood meeting ahead of this to let everyone know what's going on.
So this is the outlet.
This is the outlet, correct, from Kings Road up to the corner where Canyon Drive turns, the 90.
And it's dumping into Siston. I mean, this is,
It would dump into the open channel
good.
that exists.
Is that likely to prevent water like in this last storm we had this last week where you had water over the streets and over Kings Road? It'll more likely to at least prevent that.
The proposal is to actually run pipe all the way and eliminate the little piece of open channel that's west of Kings Road. So all the water that's in the pipe will stay in the pipe until it outlets on the east side of Kings Road.
So you're saying that, from where the current pipe is, your plan is to run it right to the street?
Yep. Yep, and then we'd run pipe all the way through there, and then that would keep that, that should reduce the potential for overflowing the street.
I can't wait to get home tonight.
but it's still gonna dump in that little creek.
And it will
or
outlet
whatever
on
you
the
call
east
it.
side, yep,
Yeah.
with that open channel that's on
Is
the
there
east
any-
side of Kings
and I
Road.
just heard this today, so I would have brought it up privately, but is there any concern about the new construction that's going there that's relatively low, that it could impact front lawns and basements of the new home that's going up there? And somebody just brought that up to me.
The site plan for that new home was reviewed and approved based on the historical lake elevations, high water elevations. The actual high water for the lake actually extends up into that culvert.
Okay.
And as Troy had said, we are planning on having a neighborhood meeting out there with the neighbors that are involved in it, because it's a big project, and that will be coming. But we got some vacations that we got to work through for our city staff that they need to take first. So we'll get that on the books, and there will be more information out to council and the community as that gets closer.
If the bids go as planned, what's the construction time? Is that this year yet or next year?
Yes, we're hoping for August, so we can avoid the rainfalls like we've had the last week and a half. Try and hit a dry time so we can get the installation in.
So with that, is there please a motion to adopt Resolution 2018-18, approving advertising for the 2018 A construction project?
I would love to make that motion.
Motion offered by Hawkins and second by Peters. Is there any further discussion?
I think it's been a long time coming.
Any other discussion? This is a roll call vote, please, Patty.
Hawkins,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Cyphers,
Yes.
Hassel.
Yes.
And the motion is passed. 16.1, accounts payable, and Paul.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good
We're just
evening.
asking for approval to pay the bills for the month of June. I'll be happy to try and answer any questions you may have on those.
Hearing none, is there a motion, please, to approve payments of the June 2018 bills as presented in your packet?
So moved.
Second?
Motion offered by Peters and second by Hawkins. Is there any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Next item is number 17. Is there anything that, Mike, do you have anything that you'd like to bring up? We'll let you go first.
The sheriff's ordered a no-wake zone on our lakes, and that means slow, no wake. That doesn't mean 10 miles an hour, and it means slow, no wake. It's a lot of shoreline damage that can happen. People's docks and lifts are well underwater right now, so just be respectful, and you can still use the lakes as a scenic drive around the lakes without going real fast.
Thank you. Council member?
I do have a question on Margaret Street. They paved all that, and then all of a sudden they came in and then cut it out, parts of it. Is that normal?
All the places where they cut out are where sanitary or storm sewer manholes are at, so they need to raise those manhole lids to the finished elevation.
Okay.
I believe that's what you're referring to.
But there's one more lift that goes on the street, so there'll be
Yes.
another layer of blacktop at.
Any other comments, questions?
I have just one thing. The Building Bridges Diversity Forum Casual Conversation is being held Thursday night at 5:30 at Graffiti Corner. join us, bring a friend. It's continuing the conversation on inclusion in our community. And so that, again, that's Thursday night at 5:30. We met there, the last meeting, it was very well attended, and just come as you are and enjoy the conversation.
Thank you.
I was just going to thank the council for allowing me to attend the annual conference for the League of Minnesota Cities. I always enjoy that. I didn't learn as much as last year in some of the classes, but one of the good things about that is all the people that you meet, the networking that you do. And I ran into a former employee, as I mentioned to Troy by email, Mike Nielsen, who was in Troy's position, I don't know how long back, but anyway, but he works for the company that's gonna be, that Mike has hired for the comprehensive plan.
No, he works for the company that is one of the interviewers for our
I
comprehensive
see.
plan.
Well,
He and three other.
One of his partners said that they were involved with us.
Yeah, right now, they're one of three that will interview is to be our potential facilitator for that process.
Well, she was acting like they had the jobs. Anyway,
They all do.
oh, I suppose. Maybe she was hoping, she was hoping I'd influence. Anyway, but it was just fun there's a lot of people. I had a chance to spend some time with different, local area people. I had some time to get to know the city administrator from St. Peter, who had not met before, but your brother works with him, and also the mayor Mankato, and just met a lot of different people. And that's been the fun part of it, and I was able to met some people who were, been one gal who is at a place where they're looking to run a local option sales tax, so I was able to help give her some direction on that, and just a lot of good conversations. That's the best part of those. So I encourage anybody who hasn't been to one for a while to attend, and it's a good, you make a lot of good connections with those things. So thanks for letting me go. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Anyone else? At this time, we are going to go into closed session, and based on Minnesota Statute 13D.05 subdivision 3A, the council will go into closed session to discuss the city administrator's performance evaluation. A public report of the evaluation will be presented at our next city council meeting, which will be July 9th, 2018. And so thank you for attending, and we will now go into closed session. I'll call you, Mike.
Cameras off.